Yo, what up, y'all? Just wanted to make a quick video about one of the sharpest trimmers that I've used in my barber career. I just felt like this was worth mentioning because of the fact that, I recently picked up this machine again, and just kind of compared it to like some of the more modern trimmers that I'm using right now from babyliss, from, can't really speak for stylecraft, but from tpob, the Acme company that makes JRL, Made Show, and tpob. And just based off of my experiences, I just, really find that, even if you spend $200 on your favorite trimmer, I just find that it really doesn't even matter at this point no more when you have something like this that's so good and so efficient, like this tool here. This Andis trimmer, the GTX, the one with the cord, the power, and the blade here are just, it's just unmatched, bro, in my opinion. So I just wanted to talk about this clipper real quick, the differences that I, kind of see when it comes to comparing these two clippers, something like JRL, tpob, or Made Show, because this is the same manufacturer as tpob and JRL. You can see this is the softy blade, same mold for the blade, same exact mold. You'll see the little lines in the teeth. You look at the JRL, the easy fade on the Lamborghini clipper, the new Lamborghini that has the same little lines right here, the little like grid lines right here, the indents, whatever you want to call them. But I just know that that company uses a ceramic cutting blade, and I know that for a fact because this is a T-pop play blade right here. And if you look closely at this thing, yeah, it's black. You might think it's like, oh, it's carbon, but you can tell that that's some sort of coating because you can see the white. Um, you know, that's the raw color of the material that they used, but they coated it or they painted it, whatever you want to call it. They're good for fades. You can get away with using them for fades, but when it comes to like the trimmer, I really think that stainless steel, like what comes on the Andis machines, the corded ones, they're just unmatched when it comes to doing sharp lines to that crunch. This clipper goes, this clipper, the crunch from this machine is crazy, yo. Like it's unmatched. The crunch originated from here. The reason why I'm mentioning crunch is because that seems like one of the new things that a lot of clipper companies are focusing on now. Like we got T-Pob with the chunk blade, and that, in my opinion, is a good blade. It really puts the T-Pob play machine, the adjustable machine, at its fullest potential. But I'm just talking about trimmers today, real quick. So this stainless steel blade here has phenomenal crunch, super sharp lines. You're not gonna cause any irritation with this machine. A lot of the times I see, barbers, especially new barbers, because they don't know any better, they adjust their machines to the point where the blade, they super zero gap the shit out of their blade. And what that will do, if you have a dull blade, like something that comes on one of these machines, like the T-Pob, the JRL, or the what is this, Made Show, you'll get irritation on the skin because this cutting blade is still rubbing against the skin, and that is gonna cut your client, cut the person you're cutting their skin, and it's gonna get all red. I just find that these machines don't do that, yo. Like these machines, just as soon as they make contact with the hair, it just like completely wipes it out, leaving a crisp, close to skin finish. Like you don't have to keep making passes. It makes super sharp lines. Like, bruh, I can almost guarantee that this machine here, if you compare this to any, of your favorite machine that there's out there right now, I see a lot of people talking good about the Bazio, the green, the upside down trimmer. I see people saying that's a good machine, but it's not even about brands anymore, y'all. Like, it's really about, the quality of the blade that they're putting on their machine. Because nowadays I just notice that the clipper game is like watered down. There's so many different YouTubers pushing all these different clippers. And it's because they're making a profit, off of everything that sells from that company. That's cool and all, but back in the days there was none of that, bro. Like the only clippers that were out there were these, and and wahl, and some oster, but oster was a little bit more expensive. But these are just the originators right here, man. You can't really go wrong with using a GTX, a corded one especially. And I mean, yeah, you can say, oh yeah, the cord, but that's not that much of an issue, bro. It's a super long cord. Unless you're a completely mobile based barber, like you're just doing mobile cuts, you know, I would recommend getting just a very sharp trimmer. And based off experience, I feel like Babyliss has they have real good sharp blades. I've only used two trimmer blades from Babyliss. That was the FX3, the red one, and the Graphite 2.0 blade. And I felt like that was a blade that was just like, actually, now that I think about it, the Graphite 2.0, it has the deep teeth just like the GTX has. And that's an Andis thing, man. Andis is the creator of this shape of blade. I mean, as far as I can remember, and also they're the first ones to do these deep teeth, and that just was like better for it. Just I don't know the science behind the deeper teeth, but I'll put it up. I'll probably get it, and then like I'll put it right here so you guys can see what the deep teeth do. But um, yeah, man, I can't even. I've been using this for even doing bald lines on people, designs, necklines, C cups, mustaches, where a lot of these duller blades kind of seem to struggle. I just see like as soon as this cutting blade touches the, you know, the hair, it just kind of just wipes it completely out. Just no issues at all. I'm leaving a nice sharp line. Oh yeah, so I did a little bit of research and read that Andis, they also put their blades through this process called hardening, where they heat the blade up and then they cool it off. And what that does is, it increases the longevity of these machines here. I mean, this blade here. I'm sorry. It increases the longevity of the edge that's on this cutting blade here. And honestly, like I find that after using these machines for so long, they still seem to perform just as well as they did, you know, years ago. As long as you maintain, you take care of the blade, you oil it and you cool care it. Um, I find that I have more trust in these machines than some of the stylecraft trimmers. Just by seeing that they were, buying clippers off of, Alibaba and rebranding them with the smart brain clippers. I'll put another picture of those up. But just seeing stuff like that kind of just makes me want to shy away from stuff like that because you really don't know how long they're gonna last. Seeing that they catch on fire. Babyliss, in my opinion, does have good blades. To be fair, but I just feel like tpob honestly is killing the game when it comes to hardware and like all the modern feel and the ergonomics that they have. But they just for the trimmer, I'm just not really feeling the blade like that. That's why him and Murano are teaming up, and they're making a stainless steel blade for their trimmer, the tpob blade trimmer. Just because I think everybody that used the tpob trimmer can agree that the blades are kind of soft. That's why he named the trimmer blades the softy blade. Um, yeah, so if you just want to ditch all that noise and just want quality tools, you're not gonna go wrong with using a Andis corded GTX. It's really gonna separate your haircuts from your homies that are using all these new modern clippers with all this cool tech and digital displays. It's really just going back to the basics, man. And these machines were never broken. The only thing that you can say about this machine as a con is the cord. But someone in the comments is probably gonna say too, well, stainless steel heats up more than ceramic. Yeah, it does, but it's still manageable. It's nothing ridiculous. Like you can, you know, cool care between haircuts, no problem. and that seems to be the only thing you need to do when the blade is fine. And yeah, it's just a all around great machine for, it's good for sensitive skin. You don't even have to gap it. You don't really even have to zero gap. It's not even about zero gap. It's not, you just, it's about the quality of the blade. People are so like, a lot of barbers talk, oh, you got to gap the trimmer to make it hit. Like, you need 4 trimmers. Honestly, like, nah, it ain't even like that, bro. Like, when you have a quality blade like this, you can get away with 1 trimmer. Like, I'm telling you, I use this trimmer for like super thick hair, and I'm doing like crisp C cups with this machine. I'm doing crisp forehead hair with thick hair. And then a kid will come along and I'll do like a nice neckline on him, no problem. And they won't cause any irritation to the skin. And that's just the difference between, you know, a duller blade that, is ceramic, especially coming from overseas where stuff is massively produced, and, quality control is a little bit better over here in the States. Mind you, this machine is, the company that makes this machine is based out of the USA. So, you know, not to throw any shade, to be fair, China now is very capable of making, good machines. I'm a pretty big fan of the tpob stuff, man. But I'm just, talking about my experiences with this, with all this stuff. Yeah, I can't really think of anything else, but just go try this machine out, yo. You won't regret picking it up, especially at the price point that it's at. I've had this one for like 8 years. I actually have another one. This one looks a little dusty because I've had it for so long, and but I picked it back up recently, and I'm like, whoa, like, what have I been doing? What have I been using? And before this, the best all-around trimmer blade that I used, based off of experiences, I'm not like with any like company or nothing like that, but was the Graphite 2.0 blade. I really found that was a great all-around clipper. I mean, all-around blade. I really felt like that was good. Same thing like this. Like, it was good for, children that have, sensitive skin, older people, under the neck. I really felt like it was a good all-around blade, just like this one. But the blade alone is $50. You can get one of these machines from like anywhere from 60 to $90 on Amazon, brand new. And I just, you really see that a lot of people on like marketplace will sell this too. You'll see a lot of people selling these because they upgraded to stylecraft. They paid $300 for their clipper. That's fine and all, but if you just want to skip all the bells and whistles, all the little fancy tech, all the LED displays, and all this blade and that blade and the colorful blade, and you just want to skip all that shit, and you just want like a solid quality tool that's gonna last you years and really make your haircuts stand out. That's the best way I can describe it, because since I've been using this, I just felt like my cuts just look better. The trimmer really is what like makes your haircut pop, and it really makes it like, stand out. If you got a nice sharp line, and you got a good fade. And nowadays, these guys that are painting their haircuts, they're of course these lineups are gonna just look super crisp after they lay some paint on it. But if they show the work before, if they use the duller trimmer, you'll be able to really tell that that the original line before the paint isn't all that crisp. And I feel like these will get you that look of a painted lineup, like especially for the C cups. Any duller blade will look fine doing a neckline, but and yeah, tpob, the trimmers, they do good at debulking too, but that's because I already said in another video, they got high RPMs, so they do good at debulking. But when it comes to like really crisp lines, I really find like the power on these is just unmatched. So, and you can put these up with any machine that you got in your arsenal that you paid $300 for, and I can almost guarantee that you're gonna get the same results from this, if not better. That's it, yo. Yo, appreciate. I think I seen we had 65 new subscribers. Well, subscribers in totals. I think that's dope. Thank you guys for tuning in and just like vibing out. I know I like to you know chat a lot and just talk a lot, but I'm just trying to get this information out any way I can, because I really feel like these machines here are being overlooked right now in this day and age, especially with all the new stuff that we got. We get new clippers every every year. We get like 4 or 5 new clippers every year. It seems like with Andis didn't really seem like they had to do that. They dropped their machines and they're still till this day I feel like just as good, if not better, minus the cord. If they didn't have this cord. But yeah, peace, y'all. Appreciate the 65 subscribers that we got. Stay tuned if you want more stuff like this popping up in your your feed and your timeline.